I said it earlier, 5 episodes in and we're getting this dark and... Bro! What's up, everyone? Jughead's Journey here. Welcome back to our Let's Watch Hunter x Hunter series. Today we are going to be watching episode 80, Evil and Terrible. We already know the Chimera Ants are evil and terrible. How much darker and bleaker is this going to get? Or is this about somebody else? We saw Gyro, the NGL leader, at the end of last episode. Is it going to be about him? Let's not waste any more time. Tune in to my full uncut reaction here, and then stay for my in-depth analysis discussion afterwards. So, Hunter x Hunter, episode 80 in 3, 2, 1. Let's watch, shall we? So it looks like Evil and Terrible is gonna be about Gyro. I want to know his backstory. If it's gonna be a dark one, to be leading and living in the NGL. Let's skip this. Because we already know the Chimera Ants are evil and terrible. How much we don't need to be keep telling that. Who else is evil and terrible? The Chimera Ants in the NGL led by Gyro could be the worst combination possible. In a construction camp. I thought that's a concentration camp for His father forced him to slave away until Gyro finally killed his father and fled. Wow. Okay. I assume he was abusive and he hated his father. The animation here, the way that Gyro is animated here. Wow. Like, without life and without personality and without expression. Just black and gray static. There's his eyes, but an empty shell of a child. So his father was abusive, beat him, quickly learned to sleep without any motion, stay still, stay quiet. What a horrible childhood. Don't make trouble for others. That was the one lesson his silent father taught him, as he slaved away. What was his breaking point, though, where he cracked and killed his father? Essentially, God, that you go to your hands and knees and worship, or, you know, in fear, like people do God. The only time his father has ever shown care for him. Taking bottom of the barrel affection. Like, that's your father, that's his job. This is where he cracks. Rage overcame him, and he attacked the other. Oh, okay. He was timid no more. Uh-oh. Did he leave him forever disfigured? Oh shit. Oh, so wait. What did he have? Oh, okay, so they were all false memories. What'd he do if his kid... He'd move on, get another one. Rejoice. Yeah, wouldn't matter to me. This is where he fucking cracks. His dad walked away. Didn't care. This is grown up right here. I was not expecting to jump and be engaging with this type of storytelling today. The universe doesn't give a damn about me. This is going to be a serious discussion later. Togashi knows his storytelling, how to switch it up like this. Serious storytelling in a shonen like this. Because I think Togashi understands it doesn't matter how old or young you are, you can identify and empathize and humanize with this, because this is real life. You may be able to relate to this. People you know, whether you were a kid at the time or as an adult, may have related to this, known this. Also, this is where this music comes from. I've heard this soundtrack plenty of times. I don't know if it also comes from other shows and anime, or if it's from this, but I know that soundtrack. So he founded NGL 9 years after that. Claimed himself king. Wanted to ruin life for the entire... Oh, fuck. This is after the Chimera Ant attack. They have taken him. Are they going to eat him? Or bargain with him? Or what? If they understand that... If they understand he's the leader of the nation they're in. That'll be something. If Gyro gets absorbed, and if his memories and personality fully retain, then you have a Chimera Ant with Gyro inside him that can continue to lead the NGL. Okay, we got Chimera Ants using guns now? This guy's fucking creepy. They like using guns now. All these gunshots in the NGL where there shouldn't be any. Yeah, he wants to leave. Please be smart and we need some fucking backup. Please be smart. That's why you are a professional hunter. Be smart. Leave. Are these the ones that POKKLE killed? Are they gonna discover what Nen is? Yep, they're gonna discover that certain humans have special abilities. Are they gonna be able to examine the bodies and... Will there be traces? Yeah, are they gonna be... Are they... Yep, they're gonna be examining the corpses. But they're not gonna find no bullets or physical projectiles. Are they gonna find traces of aura or Nen? Because they can't see it. They felt the projectile being so they felt the aura, but you can't physically see it. Because it wasn't conjured, it was all emission and transmutation. That's what I want to know. Will they inherit Nen? Just because you can possess aura doesn't mean you know how to utilize it. Let me go back. Yeah, okay, so if humans have this power once we inherit the genes, you don't only lack the trait, you understand the learning and the education. That's what he's trying to say. Our big strength is our ability to learn. Yes, that will become plan A. Kill the queen. Everything falls apart. Whatever it takes to keep her safe. Is he talking about the queen? What is he? His sister? Does he remember? He remembers his sister and he's attached to his sister. Who became Reina? Or was it Is he realizing? What is he pondering? That Cult has memory and it has an attachment, which is a human trait? Okay. Where's Reina? Who became Reina? They were eaten at the same time. I'm confused. Yeah, they're all fucking dead. You're gonna have to send those out over the border. Or somewhere. Yes, leave, please. I know you're not going to. I'm anticipating y'all dying, but... Yeah, we need to tell the association. This is gonna turn into a Netero level threat. And this is where it fucking goes down. Oh my god. This guy's fucking huge. He's dead. Come on, let me see that bow. Is it gonna pierce him? Yes, okay, so, okay. He was still small fry. Are you gonna get overpowered though? How many are coming? What the hell is that? And they're speaking. Can it understand, or is it speaking in its own ant language? Orange arrow. What does that do? Oh, shit! So the orange is supposed to be the fastest. What the fuck? Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Is this because they've been eating Nen users? Those other hunters, if they have Nen, now is this proof that this one was birthed recently, and now he can see aura, Nen, handle it? That's what Colt meant by only our most advanced soldiers can handle advanced weaponry. If that's what that was supposed to mean with Nen, but goddamn. Okay, well, POKKLE's fucking dead. POKKLE's dead. The grunts can't see this. So the life energy that surrounds your body is what fuels this weapon. So he can see everything. He has Nen inside him. So can all squadron leaders do it? It just meant in general, all the more advanced squadron leaders are capable. He's fucking... oh, he ate his fucking head off. That's a waste of a meal. Don't get close. Don't get close. Don't get close. Don't get close. Let's fire a fucking barrage, please. Oh god, he's dead. He died. He died. He died. He died. Ugh. I can fix her. Did she paralyze him? Are they gonna eat him? Or are they gonna give it to the queen? Oh, brother. She's dead too. Send your bees out, please. Let them live on with the messages. Have one reach Kite. You're fucked here. You're like worse than useless. Yes, write new notes. Write new notes. Go, 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 go. And that'll be Gon, Killua, and Kite. Go as far as you need to go. And she's fucking dead. She got shot in the head. That is so... God, that's dark. I said it earlier. 5 episodes in and we're getting this dark and... Bro! Jesus Christ! That's morbid. Yeah, we're getting fucking... And he's eating her. Not even for the queen, but for him. Getting eaten. Help. Chimera Ant Nest. Rocky area. A map. Notify the Hunter Association. They're gonna recognize Ponzu's bees. Are they? They have the memory too. the fact that Kite asked them, can you accompany me? Not, it's dangerous. Are you sure you want to come with? But instead, it's going to be dangerous, but can I ask you to accompany me? Wow. Yeah, they should not come. Leave here. If anything, I think Kite and Gon would be running ahead. Kite might have to be, nope, they're all together. Never mind. They're all together. Yeah, you're not catching up to them. So much for keeping an eye on them. Now they're deep in the forest now. At the murder site. They have to recognize Ponzu now. Not just from the beads, but the hat. And now, a girl that was nice to them, a friend, a comrade, during the hunter exam, you can see how mad he is. Brutally killed like this. Unnecessary death. This was not a human. Yeah. A Chimera Ant that somehow fucking shot a bullet and then ate them. So, terrifying in both ways. NGO's underground rulers have already been fed to the queen. So, high intelligence and personality, yeah, are born with these genes. Extremely violent, but intelligent. With memory, perhaps, of the landscape and whatever else. An unprecedented biohazard. Jesus Christ. Okay, narrator, I know that already. Bro. It is this bleak already, just 5 episodes into the arc. How are the next 50 episodes gonna go? Brother, this episode is just misery. Gyro's childhood, misery. Watching 2 characters we've known since the very, very beginning, savagely killed, misery. As much as I've loved this intro song, they really need to change it. It does not fit anymore in this arc, especially after today's episode. Does not fit the tone we now reside in. The leader of the NGL, gone. OG characters, dead. The Chimera Ants haven't just appropriated human weapons by wielding guns now. They've also even begun to perceive and defend against Nen. This was one of the main primary questions, concepts, ideas I was really eager to see explored. And I'm happy today, excited today, we saw that. And we're going to be moving along with that. We immediately flashback jump into the past many years ago to Gyro's childhood, his harrowing origin backstory. The illustrative style and character design is so powerful. I loved it. The black and white filmic scenes, Gyro is nothing but a dirty, staticky, blackish silhouette without features, without detail, no youth, no life, totally dehumanized. The first 12 years of Gyro's life is in a construction camp. He is nothing more than a forced laborer. He looks thin and half-starved, working under cruel supervision and damaging conditions. He knew how to lay bricks and mix concrete before he can even speak, which we know wasn't until around like 7 years old, as the narrator tells us, since his father never spoke to him and didn't want any sound out of him either. Parents usually begin to worry when their child is nonverbal and not speaking full sentences just around 2 years old. Gyro could barely utter a word at 7. His father isn't even given a name. It's just like the drunk or the man. Archetypal, alcoholic, abusive parent. He forces his child to slave away from dawn to dusk, emotionally and physically abusing him at home in his alcoholism-induced, fueled rage. His father severely beat him once just because of the creaking noise from moving in his bunk bed. Gyro learned to sleep absolutely still and learned how to relieve himself in empty liquor bottles so he wouldn't have to leave the bed to go to the bathroom. So not even 5 minutes in, we learn Gyro has only ever known coercion and fear and exploitation. Where there was a vacuum of affection, Gyro filled that with hatred. We witness a wound be created so deep that it shaped every subsequent choice Gyro ever made up until the present day, at the very moment we see him disappear in the cave. The only thing Gyro ever received from his father was the line Gyro took to heart, "Don't make trouble for others." This lesson was the one and only gift from his father. A shitty piece of wisdom. That's it. Not even wisdom. That's a horrible, shitty lesson. Nobody should listen to that. Don't make trouble for others. That just translates to, you are a burden simply by existing. Your worth is conditional. That's your child. You owe your child everything. That's your job. Even with friends and partners, whether it's my significant other or my best friends, relationships thrive on mutual reliance, on the willingness to both give and receive, even when inconvenient. Making trouble isn't a burden. It's the lifeblood of intimacy and relationships. So make trouble for me. I make trouble for you. That's the whole point. You're my partner. You're my best friend. We owe each other a whole lot. I owe it to them to give them my everything, like they owe it to me to give me their everything. I think your partner and your best friends should be a burden to you sometimes. You should be a burden to them sometimes too. It's part of what you sign up for in relationships, romantic and platonic. You help and you ask for help, even when it's not easy or convenient. And you count on them as they count on you. You love each other. That isn't dependent on how easy you make it for them, how easy they make it for you. You love your partner or your best friends or your child, and you adore them and take them exactly for who they are, because that's the whole point. So fuck that shitty lesson. Make trouble for others, please. Be there when others make trouble for you. That's relationships right there. That's how you should operate in relationships. And that's how you operate in kind society. So fuck Gyro's dad. The one gift he got from his father was a shitty ass gift that messed him up forever. But nonetheless, his father was essentially God. He feared him and idolized him like a religion. He believed his father needed him, that there was an emotional, deep-seated reason why they stayed together, why his father kept him around and didn't throw him out or abandon him. In his mind, his father must care for him because his father once nurtured him back to health when he was 5. Only a loving father would do that. And his father never ordered him to leave. So his father must want him and need him. That to Gyro means he must have value. But then he was forced to accept that his father only kept him around for the money, and that his father couldn't care less what actually happened to him. It wasn't his father who nursed him back to health those years ago. It was a neighbor. Gyro was delirious, hallucinating, creating false memories, believing and creating a false reality, only what he wished was the true reality. And so what finally officially broke him was laying sprawled on the floor in bloodied submission against the man he attacked, utterly powerless and vulnerable, in need of some help, witnessing his father look dead at him, dead in the eyes, acknowledge him, and keep on walking without an ounce of care for him. That's what forged his worldview, forged his nihilism. The universe doesn't give a damn about him, so he won't give a damn about the universe. His father doesn't care if he lives or dies, so he doesn't care if the world lives or dies. If I don't matter, nothing matters. If the universe cares nothing for me, why should I care for it? Life has no meaning. He's going to strip away everything anyone and everyone cares about and loves until life has no meaning for them either. Don't make trouble for humans. That's what he gets out of it. If he's not even human, then he could not care less what happens to humanity. Let them all die. Ruin the world. And so Gyro's backstory just conveys the cycle of abuse. We feel sympathy for the boy who suffered, yet horror at the man he became. When you watch shows or documentaries on crimes, murders, all those Netflix or Hulu 60 minutes, 2020 episodes, shows, documentaries, whatever. The backstories and the origin stories are not meant to excuse later monstrosities, just contextualize them. This contextualizes Gyro, and we've never even met current Gyro. Gyro never learned empathy. One should not then be surprised it is absent from his life entirely as an adult. We time skip to Gyro as a man. He founded the NGL. His childhood lessons of never showing mercy, exploiting labor, valuing only power, they become state policy. Churn out a potent narcotic drug, D2, funneling those profits. He has a nihilistic vision. By weaponizing addiction, he ruins life for the entire world, to his profit. Whatever ant Gyro turns into is going to be a fucking nightmare. If Gyro's humanity, his twisted vengeance, gets encoded into a Chimera Ant, that'll be one of the worst evolutions we've seen. A creature who wields total indifference as a weapon. An ant who hates. Maybe not even hate. Even worse than hate. Just emotional paralysis. Feels nothing. That blank stare he received from his father now projected onto anyone and everyone. An ant born of trauma and cruelty who doubles down on that cruelty. And then, think about this fascinating fact I was thinking about. We're not even going to be introduced to him as a human. That'll be such fascinating, amazing storytelling if that's the case. If Gyro ends up being a character who is already dead and gone before we ever got to properly see him as a man. A character where we only know their past, and we have to build our impression of him based on all that, like detectives, sifting through the trauma and the other clues of his past. And the first time we properly see Gyro, it won't really be Gyro. It will be the Chimera Ant birthed from his DNA with the hints and sprinkles of him inside that new body. So if this Chimera Ant is a real monster, it'll make you just imagine how horrible he was as a man. That will be such cool storytelling if this ends up being the case. Yunju then takes over that factory. Does Yunju remember Gyro? If he was birthed from one of the underground NGL soldiers, he could not only have memories of Gyro, but also of the D2 operations. Or just personality-wise, he could have that ambition, which all combined could be why Yunju wants to take over the factory. He stared down Gyro's seat like he was remembering him, and also said he should have just ate him. Does he say that as in he should have spared him being reborn because his genetic memory had an attachment to him. So like something inside him is telling him he'd rather not see his old leader turned into some new Chimera Ant. He should have just spared him that suffering and eaten him. You don't have like carte blanche access to every single moment of the past life that made you, but it's like a hazy collage of stuff. So I don't know what he's seeing or feeling. He might not consciously remember Gyro the way the human did, but he perhaps feels a bond. Also, this is another sign of increasing individuality and independence. Yunju doesn't want to be going out chasing food for the queen. He wants to run this factory for himself. Maybe he doesn't want to be a part of the hive anymore, as some mere soldier for the queen, just following orders, when he can build his own empire right here. Why go out gathering and redirecting resources to some queen when he can redirect a new authority to him and install himself as master of this new, different domain, going from soldier to sovereign of this NGL power structure with the drug trade? If he even understands and remembers what the operations of this cave are, I don't really get that either. Now moving on to a different Chimera Ant, Colt. Why the hell did Colt say Reyna's name? Just out of nowhere. Saying he needs to protect Reyna. Is the queen's name Reyna? Coincidentally? Or did he name the queen Reyna? Or what's going on there? That's confusing me. Did Colt's subconscious speak for him? And he's attaching the name Reyna without even meaning to? The one person Kurt tried to protect most onto the queen who Colt protects most? He doesn't even realize he said the name. And Peggy doesn't recognize the name. So the Ant Queen can't be Reyna, because then Peggy would know, oh, that Reyna, you mean the queen. But he doesn't. Also, we haven't seen the other squadron leader who was born from Reyna's body, or the fact the two might recognize each other or feel some energy bond to one another. So this whole part confused me a lot. Even after a second watch, I still didn't really understand. So if you want to explain that to me, if there is really anything to explain, thank you. And then, I'm also not trying to, disrespect POKKLE. Love POKKLE. OG cool dude from the beginning, strong hunter. Wish we saw more of him. Loved what we did see from him. But he died fighting. He died being a pro hunter. Well, not dead. He got stung, which I assume paralyzed him and knocked him out, and he'll be eaten alive in the hive. But I want to talk about Ponzu. She wasn't a pro hunter. She was an amateur. Brave enough to enter the NGL, even though that was very irresponsible and stupid. But sometimes what is brave is stupid, and what is stupid is brave. But this is how you get experience, and you make a name for yourself, really. For yourself, and evolve yourself to take on the hunter exam the next time around and earn that license. You got to go for it sometimes. And that's really what a hunter is. But, sadly, that won't happen. She died running, not fighting. She died from a gunshot to the head, not in fair battle. She died trying to escape and bring justice to the comrades who fell, and possibly save those still out there. But think about this. In a way, Ponzu is like Pakunoda. Ponzu died just like Pakunoda. Ponzu, before attempting to flee, stopped and used her trained bees to carry her dying message to Kite and the others, dying in the service of helping and saving her comrades, and in the service of alerting reinforcements to a grave threat to their lives. Pakunoda remained loyal to her comrades, even under interrogation, even under the life or death chain around her heart. And in a last-ditch gambit, she transferred all her intelligence and memories into her closest comrades. Also, a dying message in the service of helping and saving her comrades, and in the service of alerting them to a grave threat to their lives. The two of them died out of the selfless concern for others' safety. If she didn't stop to write all those messages, she probably could have escaped and avoided that Chimera Ant. Pakunoda could have, if she didn't choose at the end to share that information, if she kept quiet, she could have stayed alive. Ponzu died helping and possibly saving her fellow hunters with everything she knows. Pakunoda died helping and possibly saving her fellow spiders with literally everything she knows. Both of them confront death with the commitment to the people they care about, the ones they've already lost and the ones they hope to save through their final efforts. Ponzu, I know I talk shit about her, but hey, she might have not had the license, but she went out like a true hunter. She made sure to get the information out to save the world, warn the Hunter Association, so that other hunters know of the danger and might have a better shot than they did. She didn't collapse in helplessness when POKKLE died, and when she witnessed that happen, she ran to find, well, again, not died. She ran to find a place and time she could send her bees out one final time, with the orders to find the strongest hunters they can, with the most aura, strong aura. And she was sadly murdered and consumed. I called her helpless and useless. She wasn't a pro hunter, but because of her actions, she could be the reason the continent, the world, is saved. The reason the Hunter Association knows what's going on, and the reason Kite, Gon, and Killua know what they're running into, saving the lives of other amateur or pro hunters like Stick and Padungo. In the process, Kite told them, stay back, you're not coming with. Also, I gotta say again, Hunter x Hunter has the perfect amount of violence, a perfect amount of purposeful, emotional, intentional, meaningful violence. Never over the top, always necessary for the story and the feelings you're supposed to be feeling. Strikes a perfect, meaningful, masterful balance. The violence never feels gratuitous or sensationalist. Every blow we see, every death we witness or celebrate or grieve, every moment of bloodshed carries heavy weight, advancing the character who died or advancing the character who killed, advancing the themes. Chimera Ant arc is obviously going to be incredibly violent and intense, but I don't see anything happening just for the shock value. The violence we see so far and what we're going to see, it propels the plot forward and deepens our understanding of who our characters are. We've seen that from the very beginning. The battles here are going to become more personal, and through that, the deaths will become more devastating. That is what this arc really feels like. But that escalation I'm anticipating seeing isn't going to just be for spectacle. It's mirroring the horrors and forces and growing menace. And Togashi rarely lingers on gore longer than necessary. You know, in the earlier episodes of the series, there was a good deal of censorship. It originally aired at an early time slot. You had to do that. But as the show progressed, as it moved to a later time slot, and where the censorship lightened, even then, with less censor, there really isn't much to censor, because it's all done very nuanced and purposeful and creatively. Ponzu's death was a flash from a gun for a blink, her body falling, hidden behind the canopy of the trees, a close-up showing her body jumping from the ant firing round after round into her corpse. Again, mostly hidden. Rather than a drawn-out gore fest, it's a sudden burst of violence that really jolted me and then immediately struck me with emotion as you see her body dragged and the camera slowly, hauntingly pulling away from behind that ant, eating her, as the scene then changes to like a little bit of hope, mostly catharsis, as the bees she sent out carrying her warning, reach Kite, Gon, and Killua. And you see the look on Gon and Killua's faces. What's gonna be amazing about this arc is the absence of plot armor. And my favorite line of the episode comes from Kite at the very end. They receive the B message. Kite reads it. He looks to Gon and Killua and says, "It's going to be dangerous, but could you accompany me?" Kite doesn't say, it's going to be dangerous. Are you sure you want to come with? He asks if they could come too and join him. Kite assumes, of course, they want to come, but he's asking if they could come for him. He simply checks their readiness and their willingness to face whatever danger is out there as equals. He honors and respects their growth and their training, the fact that they are pro hunters, everything they've gone through and accomplished, even where they come from. He sees them as colleagues, places them on the same footing as equals, as partners. I don't know. I just really love that line from Kite. And then, right at the end, the three of them bolting off, reaching the spot where Ponzu died, her bloodied clothes on the floor. And you see that Gon knows who that was. And that's going to fire him up. But that is where I'm going to end today's discussion. If you enjoyed the video, hitting that like button to let me know, and better yet, subscribe to my channel if you want to stay in the loop here. Keep the conversation going down in the comments below. And if you're interested in unedited reactions, exclusives, and early access, you can check out my Patreon. Having said all that, and with that said, so long, farewell, until next time. Thank you. Have a good one. Peace.